Hello. Okay, so the title basically explains what this video is going to be about, and of course it's going to be opinionated, but yeah, it's what I think can actually make players better at World of Tanks. So, first of all, know how good you are. If you suck, know that you suck. The problem with a lot of bad players is that they don't even acknowledge that they're trash at the game. It's stupid. And what they'll do in game is they immediately blame teammates the second they die. They quite literally search for the nearest tank that they can blame for their death. That's called being an idiot. In almost all your games, you can perform better. So if you die, it's your fault that you didn't get more damage. What happens when you blame your teammates instead of yourself is that you completely shut out what you could have and should have done better that game. You just think, oh, I couldn't have played better. It was all my teammates' fault. Yeah, no. Like if you're not good at the game, how could you ever think that's not your fault that you didn't get a lot of damage? It's your fault. Then you start to think, maybe I shouldn't have taken that positioning. Maybe I overextended. I should have stayed closer to my team. Maybe I should have taken that positioning instead of this one. Maybe the position I took just isn't viable at all. What all this is called is actually trying to become better. A lot of players don't even try. They're happy where they are, I guess, and then they don't even think. Some say that they're trying, but they don't even think about what they're doing at all. Like, it's idiotic. So that leads into the second thing. Use your brain. It's so simple. A large portion of this is looking at the map and deciding where you should go. And looking at the map and deciding where you should go isn't actually that complicated. At a noob level, the one thing that's crucial here is checking if you have support going to the side that you're going to. Let's say that you just have you and another guy going to the west side of the map. Most likely, the enemy team will have like 4 to 5 people at least. So, don't freaking go there. Like, why are you going alone and suiciding? You see so many horrible players go to a position completely isolated, and then they just get slaughtered by 5 enemy players. Like, why would you go there all alone like an absolute idiot? And a lot of these cases are when the team has lemming train. So the trash players will go the opposite side of the lemming train and then call their teammates trash for all going one side. They don't think for a second how idiotic they are for suiciding by going to the opposite side all alone. All you need to do is either go with the lemming train or just sit back at base and defend the opposite side. And there's a difference between defending the opposite side and going up and engaging the enemy on that side. Don't actually go up. Just take a god tier defensive positioning and let them push into you. It's that simple, and you'll see these trash players actually be proud of suiciding the opposite side of the lemming. They're like, I'm the only one who went this side. I held them off as long as I could. Yeah, no, you probably could have held off that side the entire game if you just stayed back at base and defended. In fact, you can even let them take your cap circle if you just take a position that lets your team get easy resets. There are multiple maps where the cap circle is completely open, and you can easily defend your base. And once you start doing these things, you start to realize that lemming trains actually aren't that bad. The only times they're actually bad is when there's trash players on your team that suicide the opposite side, which is almost every game. So, as a result, lemming trains do end up sort of being bad. Another huge thing is that you need to learn how to run. When you see that you're losing the side you're on, run. Let's say that you have 3 teammates with you and you take a position to engage the enemy in a brawl. So there's 4 people, like including you. You have 3 teammates and you. If you see that they have 6 tanks, eventually you're gonna need to run. Literally, you might ditch your teammates and run. And what your idiot teammates will say is that you're selfish and you just want damage. Or like, you're a coward, you let us die. No, it's called not being stupid, okay? They were going to die anyways. Staying there would quite literally be suicide. In fact, typically running away actually increases your chances of winning. You can fall back to god tier positioning and then farm them as they push into you. like the game that's playing right now, I'm falling back to the corner of El Haluf. And it's because I realized that my team was losing that side. I already started to fall back earlier. And yeah, and I'm going to end up doing actually pretty well this game. It's huge, so huge. You need to learn how to be able to run. And you may think that I only fell back because I was low HP. Like, even if I had, like, full HP, I would still be running away. Because the fact is that they just had more people there, and we were gonna die. So I fell back to the corner, and now they're gonna push into us, and I'm gonna get free damage. Just watch. So their 430U is just being kind of stupid. I get free shots on him. See, this is one thing that you shouldn't do as a player. You don't just go in like that. For you can't just push into people of a team that's set up defensively like ours. At least I think what they're trying to do. Obviously our 60 TP was not a good player because he didn't go up to A2 A3. I think he was sitting there the entire game. But yeah, I guess you can like blame your 60 TP for not going up, but a good player will still run away instead of staying there and blaming 60 TP. They'll run away, realizing that the 60 TP was kind of stupid. But you play based off of your team. You don't expect them to do everything that they should do. Like, players aren't super perfect or anything. You play based off your surroundings. You don't expect them to do everything you want them to do. And this is huge, so huge. In becoming a better player, you learn how to fall back and actually run. Okay, so, and some of the other things that make a good player are situational awareness, reading the map, good mechanics like side scraping and aiming, knowledge of game positioning and tank weak spots. Yeah. So for situational awareness, reading the map, obviously situational awareness is looking at the map, which you should be doing a lot, and keeping a general knowledge of the shot angles that people have on you, what could potentially shoot you and come get you. And that's the reading the map part. You need to know you need to predict what's going to happen. And that is a little bit harder, of course. But just that part's going to be hard. You have to be able to think, oh, this is going to happen. I'm going to need to fall back now. But a lot of it is actually kind of simple though, which is the stuff that I was talking about. Reading the map and looking that, wow, my team's going to lose this side. I'm not going to stay here because then I'll die. Stuff like that is actually huge. Later on, to become an even better player, you'll have to be able to read maps even better. But for now, that's a huge improvement in gameplay if you learn that. And okay. So mechanics like side scraping and aiming. Side scraping is obviously just learnable. You just sort of learn it. You can actually look at tanks.gg models and see how much you angle to keep the auto ricochet side. And yeah, aiming, I just can't help you with. Aiming is something that you sort of get over time, but it's not really easy to improve aiming. Yeah, there's nothing I can say that'll help you aim, really. So, and I know that there's players that struggle with aiming, and there's nothing I can say that sort of helps them. and it just kind of sucks. And even I like still need to work on aiming. Like I'm learning that each game I might miss like a shot per game just because of bad aim, and that is huge. That is a huge bonus if I just aim better, but of course that's kind of hard. Knowledge of game positioning and tank weak spots. Tank weak spots you sort of learn after playing the game a long time, and obviously you also look at like tanks.gg and look at the tank models and try to figure out where you pen, but yeah, a lot of it you sort of just learn after playing for a while. And map positioning is actually huge. You need to know which positionings are, you can actually just learn them by watching better players, to be honest. Obviously you can't use them all the time, you need to apply like when you have support or not, but yeah, you can learn these positions from other players. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have. This is what I truly think can make people better at the game. And yeah. Oh, one thing is that I've learned a lot of good players, they didn't just grind out you can't just grind out battles and magically become better. You make these crucial realizations, and then when you keep playing, you start improving massively. Like for a lot of players I know, something clicks and then they just get a lot better. Like they start improving hugely. That's what happened to me and a whole lot of players that I know. And that's it. Goodbye.